So guys, we're back with another Call of Duty video. I'm actually planning on not making too many more Call of Duty videos in the future. As you can probably see by my last video I posted yesterday, a bit over the franchise. But anyways, we have more details on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which is coming out this October. I think it's October the 23rd, the release date for this one. But today they actually released some gameplay footage from the multiplayer test, I guess with Infinity Ward when they're doing gameplay testing. Yeah, so we're just going to listen to a couple things they say and have a chat about, I guess, what their plan is with this game and what their direction is. As I said yesterday, it's a bit of a funny one, whether or not you think that just these, I guess, what they're going to explain today can sort of change the trajectory of what's going to happen with Call of Duty in the future or not, but it'll be good to hear what they have to say. And they are changing a few things up, and we'll have a chat about that now. Let's take a watch.
Multiplayer arcade. We set off to make the best multiplayer arcade shooter we possibly could, and to us that meant Modern Warfare with unrestricted fluid movement, array of different types.
Like, I don't understand why they're focusing on unrestricted fluid movement when I guess one of the biggest issues they have with the franchise at the moment is the movement system, especially from Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7. They introduced the Omni movement system. I don't know why that's like a focus point for them. I don't know why they think that improving the movement in the game, or in multiplayer, I guess, or whatever, is going to improve the gameplay experience. I think it's probably the biggest detriment to the gameplay experience. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the best sort of FPSs, in my opinion, these days, they really don't have crazy cracked out movement or anything sort of insane or anything too, I guess, groundbreaking. It's all pretty basic. You look at Valorant, you look at CS, you look at Siege, games you can't even jump in. So yeah, I mean, not that every FPS game has to sort of be based on that. You got Apex and everything with a bit of movement, but I think the biggest problem with Call of Duty at the moment is their cracked out movement. But that's what they seem like. It's a big focus point on a couple of things I've heard the devs say, the movement. But we'll keep having a listen here.
Of equipment, kill streaks, guns, deep systems for you to engage with.
If the player wants to do something, they should be able to do it. When they pick up the sticks, we want them to go, oh shit.
When Mark and I took over Infinity Ward and we were talking about what our goal should be.
When I sat down with him, I was like, all right, Jack, so what do you want out of this?
We were both very passionate about the fact that it should be about making the best game possible.
I told him, I said, look, if you and I are doing this, you and I need to be on par with everything that we do.
Mark and I very quickly settled on the fact that it shouldn't be about our egos. It should be about...
Look, you got to give them credit. I guess Infinity Ward, they've been criticized in the past about how, I guess, the lack of input and feedback they take on as a development studio. But, I mean, they're heading in the right direction. I mean, it's about time with all the amount of pressure, I guess, the audience, the players have put on them. We saw it with Treyarch in the last two games, how they've sort of opened up to opinion and they've taken away skill-based matchmaking, even though it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, I mean, you got to give them credit, and they seem like they're dedicated to try and make a good Call of Duty. Yeah, got to give them credit for it.
Out and make the best Modern Warfare the world has ever seen.
The game itself is fun as hell. I love playing the game, and one of the things that we've pushed since the beginning is if you're making the game, you need to play the game. But Fridays now is the play day. The play test day. Ain't nothing else.
I need help. They're pushing me. Oh my God. Full charge. Oh, nice. The house is ours. This is our house now.
Oh, fuck.
God. Oh, no.
You see a bit of, I guess, gameplay there. I'm going to skip to a part where they talk about, I guess, the next chapter in this. They got multiplayer play test, and they got a briefing on movements, maps. Yeah, really, it's just about maps and multiplayer design. They seem to focus on movement a bit. We're actually going to skip straight to a bit of gameplay. They've got, I guess, with the movement, the new movement system, I guess they've got in this game. I guess we'll have a watch and see what they've cooked up this year.
Big improvement. People were feeling like they felt more unrestricted. Still felt like it fit Modern Warfare.
It was cool to see people sliding over the cars that we have. Like, it was rad to see people use our new movement tech and, like, you know, mantle in the slide, get on top of cars, or even use the new pipe climbing.
What I love is just how natural it feels. It's not like the movement options are difficult to wrap your head around. You just pick up the control.
I mean, the realism factor, just by looking at what they put here, it seems they've gone more milsim with the realism. I guess this is on a new engine. This is the first one that's going to be on a new engine. It's not going to be on the older generation of consoles, like PS4 and Xbox One. So it's going to be just a next gen, well, the first next gen Call of Duty only. I mean, it looks pretty good visually. It looks cool. Even the way they, aim down sight and you can see the gun. I think visually it looks pretty cool. They seem to be focusing on, the fluidity of sliding over bonnets and going into prone position and sliding. Let me know what you guys think, but they're things that they probably should, to me anyway. There's a lot more to focus on than the movement system in Call of Duty. I think they need to, tone it down a bit. I know everyone complained about how, I guess, Modern Warfare 2 felt their last Call of Duty, but I mean, the slower the better, I reckon. Going in that direction, slowing things down, because what it does is it locks people in to just like one meta of playing, one play style, and it's just a cracked out movement base. And if you can't master that movement base, like you're not good enough at that, you're not competitive in this game. There's not multiple ways of being good in the game because they've based it around a movement system. So it's just, it sort of funnels players into one direction. If people can't, if they're not bloody movement demons or anything like that, well then they're not that successful at the game, which is fine. But I think with some diversity through like different avenues, slowing the game down, you have different play styles that can sort of come into it. I think that's just sort of key to where they need to start, and I think they need to think about how they do matchmaking, not skill based, but how they do matchmaking in the game modes they're doing. Yeah, but I think they need to sort of stop emphasizing movement. But
Controller, and you can feel it instantly.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think it's gonna feel natural to a casual player, and there's enough space where you can like optimize and really
and master the movement. Yeah, we got kind of dinged on Modern Warfare 2 with our movement, where we took some things away, some freedom. People like, oh man, I can't do this. This doesn't feel good. The movement's terrible. So for this project, we were like, we need to make some adjustments.
We set off to make unrestricted movement at the beginning of this game. Then
look, I don't think it was like that. I think it's good that they're like talking about past mistakes with Modern Warfare 2 and everything. They did take some things away from it. I mean, MW19 had all the bunny hopping and pretty slick sort of, I guess, movement in it, and they took a lot of, I guess, the fluidity away. And people say you feel like you're stuck in mud a bit more often in MW2, but I think as far as progression goes and the years have gone over, I think now MW2 is a while away, and we've just been bombarded with insane movement in Call of Duty. So they're sort of focusing on things of the past and not focusing on maybe the last couple Call of Duties, because there's been Modern Warfare 3, which wasn't their game, that was Sledgehammer, and then there's been 2 Activision games. There's been 3 releases of other Call of Duties. Modern Warfare 3 had a really good movement system, but underplayed, no one played it. Black Ops 6 had a big launch, Game Pass and everything. It had massive amount of consecutive players on day one, I guess. It had a lot of hype. But between how that went and then how Black Ops 7 went with the Omni movement and all that cracked out movement system, I just feel like, tell me what you think, but I feel like we're all a bit tired of it, and it makes Call of Duty a bit brain rotty with like the fast paced action of it, I guess. They're sort of like skipping that, and they're just referencing what MW2 was and how they're making movement more fluid. But you're coming out of a game, like most Call of Duty players play every year. I guess there are people that play just the Modern Warfare series, but you're coming out of a game that was just, like how many people are playing Black Ops 7 now? How many people actually played Black Ops 6, by the end of its life cycle? Like, it had probably one of the biggest drop-offs in player count, other than probably MW2 in Call of Duty history. But yeah, they just keep focusing on fluidity and movement. So like, people watch this and they think it's like, it's all positive, I guess. And it's good that they're showing us insight in the development of the game. But yeah, I don't know. I just, it's going to be the same old thing, I think. And I don't know how many little things they can adjust here in the way that it feels and does this and does that to be, I guess, a big success, especially with GTA 6 and everything around the corner, and how many actual great games are getting released this year.
The ideas that started coming out of people like mantling into slide, the slide into supine, like all these kinds of ideas are like, that's awesome, let's put that in the game. And so I love all that stuff because the game just feels fluid, it feels dynamic, it feels like everything I want to do, the game responds. Like all the ideas from the team around movement, how to make it feel that way, are fantastic.
Nice. He's behind the truck, yeah. Oh, nice. Do it. Oh, nice. Last ball in 2. This way, you got it? You see him too. Oh my God, yes!
Yeah, so look, anyways, you know, it's got to give them credit, Infinity Ward, for doing what they're doing. We get a bit of an insight, more insight into the game about what it's going to be. There's a whole quarter of the video about, like, I guess, movement in this game and movement tech, and I guess really what else are they going to change, because like we all know, Call of Duty is the same thing every year, pretty much. They're copies of each other with, like, slight changes. This sort of, to me, just goes and proves the same thing. Like we all knew, it's not a revelation. That it's probably not going to be anything groundbreaking. They're making movement more fluid from MW2. But I mean, the way the Black Ops 7 was going with the movement there, I mean, this could feel, just by the looks of it, just by what we saw then, mantling, sliding to mantling, how they were saying how great that is. I mean, I don't know why they think it's something massive, but I mean, the movement looks a bit slower than Black Ops 7. You know, it's heading in a positive direction. I think people gave Infinity Ward a lot of flack, but I think they're probably going to be the ones to bring the game back to a more stable player base. I think Treyarch has done and dusted with how Black Ops 6 and 7 went. They're going to have to change, you know, the IP. I guess they're going to have to go away from Black Ops, which would be a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. This is sort of what they've shown us so far. I don't know how much more they can really show us to be, you know, really convincing us that anything is going to change this year. You know, some good movement tech, I guess. They go on to talk about maps here, but I don't think maps are the most important thing. I mean, the color scheme of some of these maps, when you look at the color scheme of some of them, they're a lot more gritty and sort of MW19 like, which not by map design, because they were absolutely terrible maps, but by sort of visual, you know, the grittiness, no bright, no oversaturation like they had in Black Ops 7 and Black Ops 6 with all the colors. Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, probably one of the last videos I'll do about Call of Duty for a little while. Yeah, they've showed us a bit of an insight into the game. Let me know what you guys think anyway. Do you think that this will turn anything around? Do you think Call of Duty can survive on, like, a core player base it's got now? My best guess would be, with it going off Game Pass, we're just only going to see declining numbers. They might have a big launch, like, you never know. They might have a pretty sort of decent launch, but then I guess post-launch support is a big factor with how many people are actually going to play this game in the end. So it'd be interesting to see. I think they referenced MW3 with Sledgehammer's post-launch support, which they did a really good job. But then again, Black Ops 6 had terrible post-launch support. They promised it with Black Ops 7, and Black Ops 7 did not deliver at all post-launch support. I know a lot of people said it's a lot better than Black Ops 6, but Black Ops 6 was dismal. There was nothing there. But yeah, that's a bit of an insight into Modern Warfare 4. It looks cool. Looks more milsim style. Looks a bit more gritty. Looks a bit less. They call it, you know, like one of them at the start. They reference they want to make the best arcade shooter, but it's that's sort of what Black Ops 6 and 7 were, like, an extreme arcade shooter. They look a bit more milsimmy here, other than climbing, you know, down pipes from roofs. I really don't know what to think about that sort of stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.